Good morning, everybody. Mark Ryan along here with Melissa Wolter, coach of the women's volleyball team here at UWF. This, of course, for Argonaut Weekly. And I'll ask you, Melissa, one of the same things I asked Molly. Obviously, 1-3, not the start that you were hoping for in terms of wins and losses, but are you seeing some positives amidst the results?
Sure. I mean, once you get past the bitterness of losing, which
Right.
I don't think anybody who's a true competitor likes to lose, but we talked to our players after the loss against Ashland that we just wanted to get better every day. And I felt like we did a really good job coming back out and playing a tough Indianapolis team and earning that win on their home court. But we saw some phenomenal teams this weekend and veteran teams, which we need to play that. We don't see that even in practice. And with as young as we are, it's going to be important for us to kind of, look across the net and see things in other teams that we aspire to be. And, we were in every match this weekend that we didn't, even against, I felt Hillsdale was a very strong team, NKU were very strong teams. Some of the games that we played against them were 2 and 3 points, and we were in position to win the games. So we just have to teach these guys how to close games, and the sooner the better.
Coach Wolter, of course, the UWF Argos women's volleyball coach, and coach of a very, very young team. A lot of times young teams can have a fragile psyche. What can you do as a coach to help build some momentum and keep the confidence on a young team that might look at a rough start and be at risk of crumbling? I know they're not. I know we have a lot of high hopes for the team this year, but what are some of the things that you do as a coach to caution against something like that?
I think you have to train it, and I realized when we went into that opening weekend that there were moments where I looked up at the scoreboard and I looked out at the people on the floor and I thought, I have no idea how we're going to react to this situation. And we came off of a season where we had 4 seniors starting for us last year, and you get to know those players, and I know what they were going to do, or at least I had a pretty good idea of what they were going to do in pressure situations, and we're learning about this team, and I think this team's learning about themselves, and every time we're in those situations, I think the players can kind of log that as, I've been here before type of thing. I think one of the hardest things to do as a coach is to create environments in practice that are similar to the environments that they're going to play in matches. So our staff has gone back to the drawing board, and yesterday was the best practice we've had all season. So sometimes, it kind of lights a fire underneath you when you lose matches, and I can sugarcoat it all I want, but we're still 1-3. We're not where we want to be, and I certainly don't want our players to think that even though there are positive things from the weekend, that I'm okay with it, because I'm not.
What made yesterday's practice the best practice of the year so far?
Just my level of intensity, I think.
She's very intense.
Anytime you
intimidating her.
I think you have to have a standard, and maybe before we went up to Indy, I didn't really feel like I could have that standard with this team yet, because I didn't want to scare them to death. But now we have opponents that scared them a little bit, so they understood better my level of intensity and my standards in the gym yesterday, and they understand now.
First of all, Coach, you were in Indianapolis last week. You're going to be in Denver this week. Have always wanted to visit Indianapolis. I've never been. Lived in Fort Collins for a year and a half. I'm dying to go back. Anyway, I can fold up into a carryout if you can bring me.
We'll bring you along.
Is
you
that
webcast
okay?
and
do you do okay with the travel? Does it exhaust you at all?
No, it's not about me. It's certainly about the players. I think it's a nice thing to travel and get away, and I think college sports allows you to go look at other parts of the country. And this Colorado Premier that we're going to is the best Division II tournament in the country, and they keep inviting us back. So that's a good thing, that it's the best of the best, and it'll be very interesting to see how our players respond to the altitude, because physically it's very tough for us to play in an altitude, in a change of altitude, because of your lung capacity, but also because of how the ball flies. It's different. You would never guess that, but if we miss a few serves this weekend,
people underestimate the altitude in Colorado. It is intense. It is intense. You have never felt dry lips in your life until you've been to Colorado and experienced that. It took me about a whole year of living there to overcome the altitude and to begin to feel like I could do the same things athletically that I had in my previous destination. Well, Coach, good luck this weekend. I know there's a lot of big opponents on the docket. Any sort of goals that you have in this weekend heading into the tournament?
Yeah, we talked as a team yesterday. I mean, this is a unique tournament where you have the opportunity to determine your own destiny, per se. because if we were to win both of our matches on Friday, then we get into the gold bracket and you have a chance of actually winning the tournament, which for volleyball, it's kind of, they don't do that a whole lot, give teams an opportunity to win the tournament because you won't usually get to play everybody there. But that's how they structure this tournament, and that's why it's great. So our goal is to get in the gold bracket and see where things go from there. Very lofty goal, but I think we can compete with anybody, and if we get to a point where we can commit less unforced errors, we could probably win a lot of those matches.
She is Coach Melissa Wolter of the very young but very talented UWF Argos volleyball team. Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you very much.